So whenever someone passed by, so they tried to make a contact with that person, but only by voice, because there was a law of some distance between the leper and other passerby. But Jesus, at that time, when he went through Samaria, he encountered them, and they were the first to initiate the dialogue. Lord Jesus came to rescue, to save us, to help us, to heal us. And he obviously consented, and he gave them the order. The order was, go and show yourself to the priests, because they were to be treated by Jesus as a healer, and they expected the miracle from Jesus. So he didn't heal them instantly. He didn't do any miracle, but he simply said, go and show yourselves to the priests. That was the law, that everyone who received the leper, we are talking about leprosy, any leper who received the healing, which must have been very rare, he had to see the priest, and that should be confirmed. Otherwise, he would still be unclean by ways by the way of the law.
Muslim passage. A lot of stuff we already know.
So what makes the healing? How the healing is made possible with them, with the 10 lepers? First of all, they were obedient. They followed Jesus' commands, they followed Jesus' voice, and they did what they were told. They started doing what they were told. And the miracle goes on the way, and this is the very point I am making here, that while they were walking towards the destination which was meant for them, they were, during that process, they were being cleansed. So, this is what happens perhaps in our life, that when we have some, not so much some idea, but there is an inspiration for us to do something, and we are still unable, but when we make an effort and start doing things, somehow the effect comes through the very action which is directed to to the point in the situation given. This somehow.
Someone wants to ask you something. Okay. When it comes off, I'll then speak to him. Yeah?
This somehow is summarized in one of the coat of arms of the archbishops of London Diocese of Southwark. The Latin formula is Age pro viribus. Age pro viribus. That means act to receive the strength. Act to receive the strength. Age, act, pro, for the sake, viribus, strength. Yes. So this is how it happened with the lepers. They started to act on the voice, on the strength of Jesus saying, and being obedient to that, what he told them, and they were given the powers to go in the direction and to reach the goal there, and they showed themselves already cleansed when they saw the priests, saw the priests in the temple, because that was the direction to the temple, wasn't it?
Yes.
The priests are in the temple, so it's also very meaningful that that's some insight. Now, and being overjoyed and being overwhelmed with what had happened, they just didn't bother to do anything about it except one Samaritan. And this Samaritan was from the area where Jesus was crossing the land. And also Samaritan being a person that was hated, but it showed that hate, which was a general one, was not really concomitant with the hearts of those people. Some of them were like maybe justly hated, but it was too general a thing to treat them as people who were not human enough, because they showed the humanity, particularly in showing the thanksgiving and gratitude. And for that, Jesus gave the lesson to all of us that when we receive some graces for which we ask, we should show also gratefulness and gratitude. And that is something which is a very interesting topic, because this gospel is given us on Sunday, and Sunday is the day of the Eucharist for us Christians, Catholics. And Eucharist, very word, means thanksgiving. So if we want to show generosity, if we want to gratitude for the generosity of God, primarily we enter into that celebration. And that celebration is at the same time joining Jesus Christ in his offering himself to the Father in gratitude for the Father's work of creation and for the Father's plan of salvation, which was being worked by his Son, sent for that purpose, and Son working in solidarity with all humankind, because he was the Son of Man. So in that sense, Eucharist is by joining Jesus in the liturgy of the Eucharist, we manifest our attitude of gratitude towards the Father with himself. So that's the powerful and perhaps not enough pondered aspect of what is being done during the Eucharist. He himself is full of Jesus is full of thanksgiving to the Father for his body, which was created. It's a created thing, and also for his mission, which was to save his brethren, and also for anybody who would be of the same attitude of thanksgiving that was demanded for us. But that can be easily fulfilled for us Christians when we join Jesus in this act of Eucharist, offering himself up to God on behalf of himself because he was man, the Son of Man, and on the part of the all humanity for many outward benefits and many inward graces. So Sunday, being the day of celebration, is primarily the Sunday of Eucharist, but out of the Eucharist goes this call for the commitment. Go and be a Eucharistic man, the man of thanksgiving, by your commitment to it. Not like the 9 lepers who were overwhelmed, but like by one Samaritan who had the sort of human heart's response for receiving the healing from God, because it was the divine healing performed by Jesus. Maybe I should be pausing here.